I've been selling it in the market for 7 years, and it's unbelievable the amount of people that me and Teresa met over the years that also were like small spin-offs. They wanted to come to the garden for a couple of weeks or a month and look what we were doing, and then they went to their towns and also started to do something like that. So there's critical mass. I'm Luzina from Horta do Pé Descalço, a small veggie farm close to Caluzeinha. And I talked to Dylan this week about Praça da Fruta, our local market in Caldas, my path towards vegetable growing and the simple life in Portugal. Yeah, I'm the latest guest in the podcast, Portugal the Simple Life.
Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Portugal the Simple Life. And I'm really happy to be joined here by Hugo. Zina or Vina?
Zina.
Hugo Zina. Hugo, thank you for being on the podcast. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. Yeah.
But Hugo, maybe you can start off just telling us a little bit about you.
So I'm me and Teresa, my partner. She's not here because she's watching up the kids right now. But we have a garden, a market garden, veggie garden, and we sell at the Praça da Fruta in Caluzeinha. So we do organic, local, try to be the most sustainable possible, and because of that we sell really close from where we actually grow the things, so it's just 4 kilometers away from our garden. And we enjoy the beautiful market of Caluzeinha, which is definitely one of the big highlights of this town. Yeah, it started slowly because this type of agriculture it's like a marathon, not a sprint. Since we don't use any artificial inputs, we have to work with time. But I can tell you, like this year, I still haven't done the calculations for 2023. But in 2022, we managed to produce almost 6.5 tons of food in 1,200 square meters,
Wow.
Which is like a little bit over 5.5 kilos per square meter, which is pretty good, assuming that we are doing a huge array of veggies, like over 50 varieties in 1 year.
Oh, wow. Okay. You mentioned how there's kind of this movement now going forward with doing what you're doing, where it's less with machines, more with hand. I mean, how important is it for you, this kind of homage or honoring the old way, but also just the practicality of it and seeing it as a better solution?
So the thing is that if you go into the traditional way of like the conventional way of doing things, where you depend on retailers and then you depend on supermarkets to put your product out, it's very hard, definitely. And and what we do, it's not as hard. But the thing is that when you really try to go as local as possible and try to direct sale as much as possible, you always can have a better lifestyle, and because it's the final client that really nowadays likes the story behind also what you're doing, and then gives value to the products that you're doing, because you are going into the market with so much freshness. I mean, everything we bring to the market, it was harvested not even 24 hours ago. So that's really the telling the story, like a good wine. That idea of a wine now is not to produce 10 million bottles. There's still that market, but it's not the market that enthusiasms the young people, because you don't just want to do something else. You just don't want to do another normal brand. You want to do a thing with character, with story, a thing that is genuine.
Just going back to the Plaza, you are probably one of the youngest guys on the Plaza, selling fruit. How important is it that the younger generation also start to do these kind of things? And do you think that there is a change happening?
I think there's a change. It's still small. It still needs more traction, but I think there's a change. So it's not like going back. No, it's taking the things that are good from the past and incorporating with the very good things from the present. And for that, I think with that in mind, I think you can really do have a good lifestyle, of course. And it's super important that the new generation also gives value to this. But like I've been selling it in the market for 7 years, and it's unbelievable the amount of people that me and Teresa met over the years, that also were like small spin-offs. They wanted to come to the garden for a couple of weeks or a month and look what we were doing, and then they went to their towns and also started to do something like that. So there's critic mass. What I ask the society is to embrace these people that want to do something for their community, because at the end we are doing this also for the community, you know.
Yeah.
We don't, our ambition is not to feed the whole college. I cannot feed 30,000 people. I want to feed 150 families, and then I would like that another Hugo's and Teresa's here would feed another 150 200 families. So the idea of this agriculture is like not mass production but mass farmers. You know, we need farmers by the masses, and with small plots, so that we are all more resilient. If I fail, I have my friend next door that he managed to overcome the adversity that I did. Because if we only depend on huge machinery, on huge fields with just one crop, it's not a very resilient model. And we saw with COVID what happened, where the problem was not food production, because there were food being wasted by the tons. It's actually the distribution. Because right now we are not just farmers. We are farmers. We are public relationship, public relations. We are marketing. We are doing all this in. We're not just farming. No, I'm not just going to my plot of land, throw some seeds, collect, and go away. No, I'm going to my plot of land, planning it, what I'm going to do. I am advertising that in social media, wherever. I am inviting people to come there and taste and see the difference. So there's a lot of it's. That's also one of the things that attracts me in this type of job, is that I'm not just in an office doing something routine. I change my tasks daily a lot of times, and that keeps my mind working. It's not just like, it's not brainless job. Of course, there are moments where you are planting a salad that there's not much to do, but you can still think of what are you going to do next time. That's the beauty for me of this job. Definitely, that there are two things actually, which for me really has beauty. Is the totally not a boring job, since you are changing your tasks the whole thing, and then you have a very physical relationship with your tasks. So if you plant something, you can then look back and see physically what you did. And when I was doing reports, you know, being a biologist and doing reports, I could go to Word and I would see how many pages I would write, but there's not a physical connection with the job, and that's something that I think really makes you enjoy what you are doing. And also in the market, in the Praça, when you are there, you know, before 7, unloading the stuff, putting everything pretty, making the piles of carrots, and then you go there and then you are there at 1 o'clock and you just have empty boxes. That makes you really enjoy also what you do. And you see the connection and the importance that you have in people's lives. Because when you make a small holiday, or when you're not there, people miss you, and that's the best thing to see, that your job has value.
Looking for a home in Portugal? This break in Portugal, the Simple Life podcast, is brought to you by Dylan and his team of certified realtors at Portugal Realty. Portugal Realty offers the exclusive Simple Life home buyer program. Visit portugalrealty.com today and book your free call to find out more. Welcome to the Simple Life.
Farmers markets are fashionable in a lot of places. They're like a trendy thing. Whereas for us, it's a part of life. It's a part of Portuguese life. What do you want people to know about shopping at the Praça?
Well, that Praça is definitely very special, because it's, for example, the only outdoor market in Portugal that is every day open. Although we are only there on Saturdays, which of course is the most important day where the most vendors are there. But it's really, sometimes people that are from around here think, like, underestimate the market, because they think it's like this in every town in Portugal. But no, it's such a beautiful area, because you're outside, you're on Calçada Portuguesa, You have the colors of the stands. So it's very vibrant, and it's actually, like I said, the only outdoor market that is always running, except for the 1st of January and the 25th of December.
Why should people go to these places? There's there's various reasons for this in terms of the health, the quality, the helping the local community, helping a local farmer. But what do you think are the most important things that people should realize about going to a Mercado Municipal or a plaza like this, and why they should?
I think they should support. Well, people should support or try to support small businesses as much as possible.
Hugo, let's talk a little bit about our area and a bit about Portugal. You mentioned how you've been to South Africa, you were in Germany, you've also up in Cidade Nova, you were in Évora. What were the things that you missed and the things that you appreciate about this part of Portugal, about this part of your local area?
For me, when I'm abroad and when I'm longer abroad, what I really miss it's the landscapes. You know, it's the sea, seeing the lagoon here in Óbidos, going into the sea, seeing the wild beaches of North Nazaré. It's seeing the fields of Castro Verde, of the Alentejo area. It's seeing the dramatic valleys and mountains of Trás-os-Montes, seeing the granite blocks of Serra da Estrela, and feeling the smell of summer nights in Idanha Nova. You know, so I have a very very physical connection with the landscape. That's always what made me miss the most. Not that there's not amazing landscapes in the other countries that you said, but at the end of the day, this is where I grew up. So it's really this feeling of belonging to this Mediterranean climate. And the one very very special thing I think about this country is that although it's relatively small, it has so many different landscapes that are very very genuine. So it's a lot to unpack in a small 800 per 350 rectangle. You know, not counting the islands, of course, Açores and Madeira, but just to concentrate here on this rectangle. There's so many little gems and different biotopes, different ecosystems, different types of landscape, which are amazing.
You could tell us just one thing that you want people to remember and take away from our conversation.
Maybe going back to that, definitely trying to know your farmer, for example. Try to see in your area who is doing organic, local farming, why not? And try and support that. Go there and try their products, even if you don't know them. So try, search. If you already know him or her, support them. If you don't know who's your family farmer, go into your local area and try and find one and support them, because
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, I like that. A family farmer. Hugo, a question that we ask all of our guests: Portugal, the simple life. Why?
Because there's this ease of talking to people, of asking how do you cook this, you know, how was this grown. So definitely the easiness of engaging in the conversation and trying to make a friend, why not? But at least talk to people, you know, human relationships. That's the beauty.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Thank you so much, Hugo, for being on the podcast. I'll see you on Saturday at the Plaza.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thanks so much.
And I'm going to let you call it.
That's a wrap.
So thank you once again to our guests, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal the Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to the Simple Life.